We like to think of Europe as a land of social safety nets where even the phrase universal healthcare doesn't send people into a blind panic. But there's a dark undercurrent to this idyllic image, one that's often overlooked: homelessness. It's easy to forget, amidst the charming cobblestone streets and historic landmarks, that millions are struggling to keep a roof over their heads, even in some of the world's wealthiest nations. We're talking about the top 10 European countries grappling with the highest rates of homelessness. This isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet, it's about real people, failed by the very systems meant to protect them. So grab your metaphorical magnifying glass, because we're about to expose some uncomfortable truths about the state of homelessness in Europe. Belgium, famous for waffles, chocolate, and wait for it, the third highest homelessness rate in Europe. Shocking, isn't it? In Belgium, the gap between the haves and the have-nots is wider than the smile on a chocolatier's face after a particularly good truffle sale. The cost of living in cities like Brussels and Antwerp has skyrocketed, making it nearly impossible for low-income earners to afford even a shoebox apartment. And let's not forget the charming little economic downturn affectionately known as the COVID-19 pandemic, which decided to generously kick a lot of people while they were already down. Belgium relies heavily on temporary housing solutions for its homeless population. Think shelters, hostels, places that offer a temporary reprieve but no long-term stability. The problem is further compounded by a lack of affordable housing options. It's like trying to find a vegan sausage roll at a butcher's shop. Nearly impossible. So Belgium, the land of delicious indulgence, is facing a bitter truth. Its housing crisis is leaving thousands out in the cold. It's a problem that deserves more than just a sprinkle of attention. Sweden, the land of sleek design, ABBA, and a surprisingly high rate of homelessness, you heard that right. The country lauded for its social welfare system is struggling with a housing crisis. It's not a lack of housing, it's a lack of affordable housing. Real estate prices are climbing, making it nearly impossible for low-income earners. The rental market is as competitive as a Eurovision Song Contest. Waiting lists are longer than a Viking saga. In some cities, you are more likely to spot a moose riding a unicycle than to find an affordable apartment. The government offers some housing assistance, but it's often insufficient. Sweden's housing crisis reveals a different story. Even in a society striving for equality, some are left behind. Ireland, the Emerald Isle, known for its breathtaking landscapes, Guinness, and a rapidly escalating homelessness crisis. It's a stark contrast. The problem in Ireland is multifaceted, a perfect storm of factors conspiring to create a housing nightmare. The country is facing a severe housing shortage, with demand far outstripping supply. Adding fuel to the fire are rising rents, which are climbing faster than a fiddler's elbow at a Tílid. The average rent in Dublin is enough to make you want to drown your sorrows in a pint of Guinness. The Irish government, to their credit, isn't sitting idly by. They've implemented various schemes to increase housing supply, but it's like trying to bail out the Titanic with a teaspoon. The situation is particularly dire for families experiencing homelessness. It's a heartbreaking reality for thousands of families in Ireland, and it's a stain on the conscience of a nation known for its warmth and hospitality. Serbia, a nation with a rich history, is facing a housing crisis, pushing many to the brink. Rental prices have skyrocketed due to inflation, demand, and limited new construction. Legal changes have made it easier for landlords to evict tenants. The situation is dire for marginalized communities, including Roma people. It's a stressful reality for many in Serbia. Germany, the economic powerhouse of Europe, known for its efficiency, its cars, and a growing problem with homelessness. It seems counterintuitive, but beneath the surface of this economic giant lies a housing crisis that's leaving many struggling to keep a roof over their heads. The issue in Germany isn't so much a lack of housing, but a lack of affordable housing. The country has experienced a significant influx of people in recent years, drawn by its strong economy and job opportunities. But this influx has put a strain on the housing market, driving up prices and creating fierce competition for available units. Imagine trying to find an apartment in Berlin, a city teeming with artists, entrepreneurs, and dreamers. The competition is fierce, the rents are exorbitant, and the available apartments are often snapped up faster than you can say Guten Tag. The German government has set an ambitious goal of eradicating homelessness by 2030. It's a noble goal, but one that will require significant investment and a multi-pronged approach. One of the key challenges is addressing the shortage of social housing. Latvia, a Baltic nation known for its stunning coastline and rich cultural heritage, is facing a harsh reality. A growing number of its citizens are struggling to keep a roof over their heads. Imagine enduring the frigid Baltic winters without a proper home, seeking shelter in abandoned buildings or makeshift camps. The country, still grappling with the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis, has seen a significant increase in poverty and social inequality. This, coupled with a shortage of affordable housing options, has created a perfect storm for a homelessness crisis. Latvia's government has implemented some measures to address the issue, particularly during the harsh winter months when temperatures can plummet to life-threatening lows. Shelters open their doors, offering a temporary reprieve from the cold, but these are often overcrowded and lack basic amenities. The root of the problem, however, lies in the lack of long-term solutions. Latvia needs to invest in social housing, provide adequate support for those at risk of homelessness, and address the underlying issues of poverty and inequality. The situation is particularly dire for families with children, the elderly, and those with disabilities. Iceland, the land of glaciers, geysers, and björk, might seem like a Nordic paradise, but beneath the breathtaking landscapes lies a harsh reality. A growing housing crisis that's leaving many struggling to afford a place to call home. The 2008 financial crisis hit Iceland hard, sending shockwaves through its economy and housing market. Real estate prices plummeted, leaving many homeowners underwater on their mortgages. While the economy has since recovered, the housing market tells a different story. Prices have skyrocketed in recent years, fueled by a combination of factors including a shortage of new construction, increased tourism, and a growing population. This has created a situation where even those with decent-paying jobs are struggling to keep up with the exorbitant rents and home prices. The Icelandic government has implemented some measures to address the crisis, such as increasing housing benefits and promoting the construction of affordable housing. However, these efforts have been criticized as being too little, too late. The situation is particularly dire for young people, many of whom are priced out of the housing market and forced to live with their parents well into adulthood. The Czech Republic, known for its stunning architecture and delicious beer, is facing a housing crisis. Real estate prices have skyrocketed, especially in Prague. Economic growth hasn't benefited everyone. Low interest rates and foreign investors drive prices up. Ordinary Czechs find housing increasingly out of reach. Government measures are seen as insufficient. Young families, seniors, and low-wage earners are hit hardest. France, the land of romance, croissants, and a deepening housing crisis? It's enough to make you choke on your pain au chocolat. While the Eiffel Tower glitters, many Parisians struggle to keep a roof over their heads. Rents and property prices have skyrocketed, driven by a shortage of housing and stagnant wages. The French government has tried policies like rent control and subsidies, but they often fall short. The upcoming 2024 Olympic Games are expected to bring economic benefits, but also rising housing costs and displacement. Many fear the Games will worsen the housing crisis, pushing more Parisians out of their homes. Slovakia, known for its stunning mountain ranges and medieval castles, is facing a housing crisis that's leaving many citizens feeling trapped. It's like finding a medieval torture device disguised as a charming Airbnb listing. Despite economic growth, affordable housing remains elusive. Real estate prices have skyrocketed, especially in Bratislava. Factors include a shortage of new construction and low interest rates. Foreign investors are also driving up prices. Government measures have been criticized as insufficient. Young people and families are particularly affected. The housing crisis demands urgent attention and effective solutions. So there you have it, a glimpse into the often overlooked reality of homelessness in Europe. From the charming streets of Brussels to the sleek avenues of Stockholm, the crisis is unfolding right before our eyes. And it's not just a European problem, is it? It's a global issue that demands our attention and action. This video is just the tip of the iceberg. I encourage you to delve deeper, to educate yourselves about the complexities of homelessness in your own communities and beyond. Because understanding the problem is the first step towards finding solutions. What are your thoughts on this issue? How do you think we can create a world where everyone has a safe and affordable place to call home? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation going. And as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more in-depth discussions on pressing issues.